Well, hey there, you. So good to see you. Donna Hoffman here yet again for another Tuesday of design for you. They call me the interior design advocate, and I love when people call me that because it lets me know that they know that I am here to advocate on your behalf in all things design. Beautifying your home so you can beautify your life, go through your daily round just that much more happy, that much more feeling contented. So every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we stop everything that we're doing here at our design studio so I can come out and talk to you. Now, normally I teach a mini lesson and then I take questions on that lesson, but today I'm talking about an important but soft topic, so I'm going to take any design question that you have. It's Take Your Questions Tuesday, okay? I'm already getting some hearts and some love on that one, so that's a good one. So today, before I open it up to questions, but definitely type your questions in as you arrive. Well, if you haven't arrived yet, you can't do that. But anyway, type your questions in so I can get to them once I open up to questions. But first, I want to talk about tackling design perfectionism and being so hard on yourself. I see this across the boards. I see this from really talented, smart, fabulous women. That's you. Whether you're my student taking one of my courses for DIY design lovers, or whether you're one of my tribe following me on Instagram or here on our Facebook group, it kills me to see you guys being so hard on yourself. So here's what I want to tell you, and hopefully this will help you to lighten up a little bit and give yourself a break and start loving what you're doing in your home and start loving your home more. First, I'll tell you that I always say this: you are in design what you are in life. So if in life you tend to compare yourself a lot to everyone else, you're going to do that in design. Don't do it. It's so easy today with Instagram and social to do that. I mean, I know I look at great Instagram feeds and I love getting inspiration from them. But when I look at 20-somethings posing in front of a wall looking fabulous, well, I'm not a toned 20-something. I'm not a thin 30-something. I'm not a fabulous 40-something. I'm sort of a fluffy 50-something. So you got to kind of meet yourself where you are in life, but you have to do it in your home too. You have to look at the beautiful surroundings that you do have and try to maximize what you have and stop trying to be like everyone else. Stop listening to all the noise. Because I'm going to tell you right now that the imperfections in your home are as important as the perfections, because the imperfections in your home, the worn out chest of drawers in a room, the paint that could be retouched, the room downstairs maybe in the first floor that needs a little bit of extra loving, all of the imperfections in your home are a sign of the love and the life that have been lived there, the family that has been there, the little toddler that spilled some juice and that stain is still there on the carpet, or your teenage daughter spilled some nail polish on her carpet back in the day and it's still there now that she's heading off to college. Those imperfections, they can make you bananas, but they are a sign of the life and the love and the family that has been living in your home. And it's also part of the journey where you've been. So that's one thing I want you to know. And I also want you to be prepared for the fact that if you are right now updating or fluffing or polishing a room in your home, it's like pulling a thread, right? You redo one room and suddenly you see everything else that you wish you could redo, or other things start to look a little shabby or worn or dated. I'm working on my family room now after a long forever. The shoemaker's children go without shoes. I'm so busy designing for everyone else. And you better believe that as I've been redoing this family room, I'm looking around thinking, I wonder when I can get cracking on that space, or when we'll have the budget set aside for that space. It's totally normal. I'm a professional designer and I have these feelings too. So go easy on yourself, lighten up on yourself. Designing a beautiful home is a process. It's not an end point. It's a constant process. So try to embrace the journey. Try to embrace some of the imperfection so that you can be a little easier on yourself, breathe easier, and have people into your home and make beauty in your home by putting out some candles and adding some flowers and having a great luncheon with your girlfriends. I promise that a lot of the imperfections you see in your home, your friends do not even see. I was looking at something in my home thinking, this probably needs to be updated. A builder I'm doing business with had to stop by and pick something up because our design studio is here in my residence. And Steph looked around at something and she said, "Oh my gosh, Donna, this is gorgeous." And I thought, doesn't look dated to her because she just went crazy over how gorgeous she thinks it is. So you are a lot harder on yourself and your home than your guests are. They're just so happy to be there in your graciousness. So again, lighten up. Stop comparing yourself to other people. I'm going to talk to that in just a second, because I have another important piece to add to that puzzle. Go easier on yourself and accept that the imperfections of life, as with design, is part of the love and family and life that's being lived there. And know when you go into a design project, it's like pulling a thread, and you definitely are going to feel that as one space comes up to speed, another space starts to look like it could use some TLC. Totally normal. I have one more important thing to share with you that you may not know about design photography. And as I get ready to do that, as you're joining me, feel free to post your questions about design in total. I know normally I just take questions about the topic I'm teaching about on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., but this is a softer topic. This is more of a pep talk topic. So feel free to post a project question, and I'll take that in a moment, because first I want to add one more component. When you're out there comparing yourself and your home to what you're seeing on Instagram, what you're seeing in the magazines, you probably know, as a woman, you're probably wise enough to know that models get airbrushed all the time and Hollywood stars get airbrushed all the time. Did you know that designers airbrush photography? You bet we do. Do you ever notice that it always looks really sunny outside when you're looking at these beautiful images? It's because we don't shoot in the East Coast. We don't shoot in the dead of winter. We also cancel shoots when it's raining out. You want beautiful views through your windows. Oh, and back to that airbrushing. We remove things like HVAC vents, cords that are in a kitchen, plugs, outlets. What else do we airbrush? Shadow. I took some speakers out I didn't like. In fact, here's something. There was an entire workshop at the Design Blogger Conference. Oh, little ghost here in the office moving my camera. Entire workshop at the Design Blogger Conference that was called What to Do When You Don't Like Your Client's Artwork. And they were talking about airbrushing in new artwork and airbrushing out a client's artwork. That's another discussion altogether, because with artwork, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I'm just letting you know that some of the standards you're holding yourself to in some of these spaces that don't have newspapers or strewn about them, there are no toddler sippy cups in them, there's no dog hair, no cat hair, things have been airbrushed. We actually rake the carpet, yes. We smooth out those rugs so they look gorgeous it looks like a little rake, just to kind of get all the fibers moving in the same way. We pound pillows and we fluff things and we puff things. So just as I know that you know not to compare yourself to a Hollywood actress who is getting a little airbrushing help, same thing on those interiors. So no more perfectionism. I want you to feel good about yourself in your home, and just embrace the beauty that's there and just do the best you can with what you've got. So now I'm going to start taking some questions. Okie dokie smoky. Okay. So hello to everybody who's sending me hellos. Thank you so much. Okay, so Denise wants to know, I don't know why I'm singing bum, bum, bum. I am so tired that I've been saying and doing weird things all day. It's just part of my being overtired and ready for a vacation next week. Denise, so nice to see you, wants to know, your take on mixing finishes in the kitchen, faucet, cabinet, hardware, and light fixture. Do it. Here's the story. I do not want you to worry about matching your finishes, okay? You can have a high polish plumbing fixture, so a faucet, and then you can go brushed nickel, let's say, on your cabinet hardware. You can go into mixed metal colors. So you can mix your finishes. You can mix your colors. You can do, I don't know, a great black plumbing fixture for your faucet, and then you can go into high polish silver in the kitchen for your hardware. And then your light fixture can either pick up a silver or can pull in more of that black metal. So you can absolutely mix your finishes. Gold is having a big moment right now. With gold, I don't know that I would do a lot of high contrast differences. So let's say I did gold pulls and knobs on my all of my cabinetry. I would definitely, in my light fixtures, feel like I could go into anything I wanted to as an accent. And my plumbing fixtures, I would probably keep into something brushed and soft in some sort of silvery tone. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to have a million different finishes in your metals so that there's just nothing for the eye to grab onto. I would think about putting 70% into one finish feeling, and then you can do another 20% somewhere else, and then you can have a little 10%, let's say, over your dining table in the kitchen, or if you have an island and you've got some pendant lighting, that can be another another feeling. You know, and what about glass knobs? You can throw glass in with gold hardware. You can throw glass in with oil rub bronze hardware, or you can throw a little bit of glass knobbing in with, you know, any other color metal. I forget what other ones I already mentioned. See, I told you I'm overtired, due for vacation next week. So Denise, I hope that answers you. Think about that same ratio. Denise, I know you're in one of my courses where I teach about color and moving color through a space, and how you start to whittle down to your ratios and your accent colors. You want to think about that with your metal finishes as well, okay? But what I wouldn't do a high polished silver faucet and then, you know, black hardware, and then chairs in a gold finish, and then a whole other finish, you know, I don't know, an oil rub bronze on the lights. I wouldn't just keep jumping up to a million different finishes everywhere. I try to find some through line. So hopefully that answers you. There might have been a more succinct way to say that. I'm sorry if I wasted some time there. Alrighty, so Sabi Rashid wants to know, how much do I charge to do a room? Depends upon the room. It depends on how much service I think a client needs. We, as different designers, charge in different ways. Some designers charge with fixed flat fees for a room. I've got colleagues who do that. I've got colleagues who hate doing that. I've got colleagues who charge hourly. We tend to charge hourly in our company, but we look at a total project to see what your total project fee range would be, so that clients really have a solid sense as to what to expect. Nobody wants any surprises at the end of the day. I don't want that as a client of, you know, legal services or whatever. So I can't just quote to you what we do for a room, because it depends upon the room itself. So hopefully that helps you. And if you're interviewing designers right now, you want to know, are you flat fee? Are you hourly? What's the hourly range you think for this particular project I would need? So hopefully that helps answer you as well. Karen wants to know if I have favorite tips for hiding cords. You know, we use a lot of tape. We tape cords behind, like thick electrical tape. We will tape cords behind a console table, so that lamp, you know, is running well. That lamp cord is running well and out of sight. It's hard to do if you have electric buried in the floor and you have a desk floating in a room. Then it gets really tough if you don't have at the front of that desk, and most desks now are showing these beautiful light, open, a lot of air underneath them. Those cords are basically impossible to hide unless you drill down into your desk and you then again run and tape or tack that cord to your the inside of the leg. So we try to hide them inside legs and so forth. And in kitchens and stuff, I just make sure that they're looped, that they're tied with twisties and hidden behind the coffee maker, hidden behind a beautiful accessory that's on the counter as well. So we do our best to hide those cords, and hopefully that answers you. I didn't have a high-tech answer for you, Karen. Tape. There you go. Sherry Mills says, in an open concept living area and kitchen, should you keep all the cabinets the same in color, style, hardware, etc.? In example kitchen, built-in bar and built-in bookshelves in one open area, should they be different or the same? Gosh, Sherry, I really think I need to see a picture to understand well what you're describing. The bottom line is that, yeah, you can do accent cabinetry. You've seen people do, let's say, a black cabinetry on the surround of a kitchen, and then a white cabinet base for the island. And then you can marry it by just doing the same, I don't know, Carrara marble along the top of everything. and let's say you had that accent color on your island, you could take that accent color into your butler pantry for sure. You could do a run of cabinetry. Let's say it's white, and then in the center, if you're doing this cool kind of farmhouse thing, in the center you could do, you know, a very pale farmhouse gray green in that center cabinetry. So you can do a lot with accenting cabinetry colors and moving those around in your space. When you do that, think about how you're going to marry everything. So you can marry it with your countertop, or you can marry it with your hardware. Hopefully that answers you without my seeing, you know, pictures of what you're looking at there. High-tech note from Katie. Final 2 questions. You have time for 2 more questions. Okay, Grace. Grace Doncelos. Grace, what a beautiful name. Ah, so musical. I'm going to have my kitchen cabinets painted. Should the inside of the cabinets be painted in the same color? I was just talking to somebody about this. That is so weird that you're asking me this. Is it okay to leave the stain color on the inside? Grace, it totally depends upon, I'd want to see your kitchen, and I'd want to see what color you're taking those cabinets for me to give you a good answer. But let me just tell you this. You can do great looking things in kitchens by having the inside of your glass door cabinets have a contrast to them. You can intentionally put a contrasting wrap on the inside. You can do a really wickedly cool wallpaper on the inside of those glass cabinets to make them pop and stand out and do something else. So hopefully that answers you without my seeing your exact, you know, kitchen to be able to give you a more specific answer. Okay. Oh, do you hear my stomach rumbling? I am so hungry right now. I was so stressed out today. I didn't really eat a full lunch, and now I'm, you know, ready to chew my arm off. Wendy Hill says, how about woods in furniture? Wow, Wendy. This is also something I teach. I know in one of the courses I have, I know I have a piece of content that deals with this, so it's kind of hard for me to teach you that in a quick Facebook Live, but I would just tell you to kind of pay attention to what I said earlier, or go back and rewatch this Facebook Live about the ratio of a color. So if you're wood, you definitely feel free to mix woods in a room. You want to think about the ratio, how much you have of a single wood movement before you introduce something else and something else. And then something else. You know, there could be a couple of something else's, because you might have wood as well as, you know, there could be metal. You might have at the foot of your bed, which is maybe an upholstered headboard and footboard, and you might have wood nightstands, but then you might have a beautiful bench that has, you know, metal legs to it, or lucite legs. So you can mix a number of finishes. It's a little bit more complicated than what I'm giving to you right now, because this is a Facebook Live. I need visuals to show you. And this is part of the problem with design getting so dumbed down and watered down into little teeny snippets, that these brilliant questions you're asking me, it's a brilliant question, but it's a bigger answer than a Facebook Live. So hopefully I've helped you. Think about the amount, what's your basic movement, and then riff on there, maybe another 30% of something else and 10% of something else. Oversimplified answer, yes, but that should get you on your way and out of trouble. I think I got everybody. Okay, last question I'm taking is from Rita. Is the gray trend on its way out? It's changing. I don't think it's going to drop dead in its tracks. Trends don't tend to do that. P.S. We might actually be starting, tell me how you feel about this, we may be starting a free private Facebook group here at the Interior Design Advocate, and we may be making it all about design trends. Tell me how you feel about that. You know, leave a comment on that if you'd like that. But anyway, is the gray trend going away? It's changing. Gray has been warming up. It's been turning into more of a grayish. We see more beige. That said, I was noodling around on Instagram. I woke up kind of early this morning, couldn't get back to sleep. And, you know, oh my gosh, the white walls, the pale, pale gray, upholstered headboards that are all tufted. I mean, are you seeing all that? I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So when you start seeing things everywhere, and also white walls and the gray Chesterfield sofas everywhere, when you start to see things everywhere, it's beautiful, you love it, but it's probably going to start shifting and turning into something else. What that something else is, can't exactly predict, but we are seeing more sand, more tans, and the warmer tones coming in. But like I always say, I think I say it at just about every Facebook Live, gray isn't going anywhere, guys. It's a neutral. It's like saying cream is going to never be seen in design again. Cream, gray, tan, sand, black, brown. These are important colors in design. Some are top notes, some are bottom notes, but they're neutrals. So if you love gray, you want to surround yourself with some gray, go for it, do it. If you're selling your home in the next year or two, I think gray is a really safe choice as well. So hopefully that answers you. Okay, a little housekeeping here. I'm going to be taking some time off so that I can refill my tanks, eat some chocolates, sit on a beach somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I am not going to be doing any sort of design work for 2 weeks so I can really come back fully refreshed, full tanks and all. So our next Facebook Live will be on July
17th.
what?
17th.
July 17th. July 17th, and I'm going to be talking about how to put the perfect artwork into your rooms. Doing that right now with some families, and I've got some great tips and tricks for you. So I'm going to miss you for the next 2 weeks, but instead I posted a piece of content for you, that a great article about, do you have to start a room from scratch if you do want to do some beautifying in your home? So that's my little gift-a-rooney from me to you until I get to see you next. And as we wrap out, getting ready for vacation, I'm going to go out on a favorite song. Here I go. See you guys soon. Oh, Katie's, there she goes. Katie's going too.